All right. Okay. Welcome, everybody, to the Slice of Shonen Podcast. I am your host on the boat, Sailor, and we are never late here, man. We're only on time. Only on time. You guys are just early, okay? We have some complications pop up. A couple of our members are going to be joining a little later. But of course, I still have my Ensemble of Excellence here with me. Let me go down the list here. We have the Silver. Say hi to the people, Silver.
What's up?
We have the me. Hey, how's it going? And of course, the Sky Cadet 13. I guess you thought I was gonna say Zenith, huh? No, it's Sky this time. It's Sky instead. He's taken his spot. How does it feel, Sky?
Without Zenith here, I am the utmost authority within this server that we have. So things are gonna be a little bit different around here, all right?
Yes, sir. A new sheriff is in town, man, but old ways still remain the same. Make sure y'all like the stream, man. Please like the stream.
It's funny because I already act like I run the server by myself, so actually there's gonna be no changes.
For us, there's no changes.
And it's like, that's stupid, and I'm like, anyway.
Yeah. That's not stupid. That's the law. Yeah, no. Of course, we'll have Zenith and Jigga, aka Adam. They'll be joining a little later in the stream. Make sure you guys go check out the description. Their channel and Zenith's Patreon are linked down below. Check those out. We really appreciate that, Sean. Housekeeping notes. I am almost done with the Just Listen to the Song video. That has taken way more time than I thought it would. I have edited the video. I just got to add like background music, and that's nothing. And then I got to make a thumbnail, and then I'm done. So it should be out this week. Hopefully you guys like it. Again, that took way longer than I was anticipating. But it is all good now. I'm happy to have that video out for you guys soon. So definitely look forward to that. On top of that, we got the Super Bowl tonight, man. Eagles.
Oh, shit, that's right.
I need y'all to come through, bro. We need to defeat the devil magic, please. Please, man. Please, brother. Also, Kendrick, I'm excited for your performance, man. I want to see what you got in stock, brother. I'm really excited. Kendrick and SZA, whoever else he's bringing out, I don't know. Maybe it's Tyler, the Creator. Maybe it's not. Don't know.
Oh my God, is that Weird Al?
Whoa. You want to know what's so weird? I was watching the...
Al.
True. I was watching the Terrapin music video from Claro, and she just had Weird Al in there singing the song. I was like, what the fuck?
Right?
That's so I was not catching that. Okay. All right. Cool. I'm with it, though. It was a good video. It's like fucking SZA having Ben Stiller sing Drive. It's like, wasn't expecting that, but sure, man. Cool. I'll take it.
Bunch of motherfuckers doing side quests.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Was not expecting that shit. Mai Shiranui also came out in Street Fighter 6. She's a lot of fun. I've been practicing a lot with her. I went into matches for the first time a couple hours ago. I got cooked. Damn, I got cooked. So we gonna have to hop back in the lab and see what exactly needs to get ironed out. It's mainly just me forgetting combos. I just do Chun-Li combos, then I remember this character is not Chun-Li. So we'll have to fix that. But I'm having a lot of fun in that regard as well. Ye versus Elon, who's worse? Where's the both option? Where's the both option, man? I truly have run out of He Made Graduation, man. I've run out of it, man. I'll listen to songs and I'll be like, damn, this is so good. And then he'll just go on Twitter and say the most random shit. It's awful. It's like, ugh, why? I don't understand it, man. Like I'll listen to a song and like even in like the Vultures era, like Burn is a really good song. I'm like, oh, that's kind of reminded me of old Kanye. I fuck with that. And then like Carnival is another really good one. It's like, oh, I love Carnival. And then Kanye's verse plays and I'm like, ugh, ew, stop it. Gross. Like, shut the fuck up. And then everything else on virtuals. Hi, there's Jigga. Hi, Jigga. But yeah, like I'll listen to Field Trip on Vultures 2 and I'll be like, this is really good. And then, you know, the rest of the album is dog shit ass. And then Kanye will go on Twitter and be like, you know, maybe these Nazis aren't bad actually. It's like, oh God, why, bro? Why? Yeah. It broke my heart a little bit seeing Kanye just do all this shit for attention, bro. Like, this nigga is a billionaire, and instead of just being like, hey man, I want some attention, let me work on my art, this nigga brings his naked girlfriend to the Grammys. What are we doing, bro? What are we doing? Oh my God, there's kids around, bro. Stop being fucking weird. Jesus. You out here supporting fucking Kendrick Lamar and Drake's downfall. You're like, oh, I love Not Like Us. And you out here pimping out adult women to kids, bro. Come on, dude. Come on, bro. Ugh. Disgusting. So I have run out of He Made Graduation, chat. I will not be listening. I will not be listening anymore.
He made Graduation, and he still ended up being a dropout.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Talk about it. God damn. Yeah. It's a little worse. It's a little rough. It's a little rough. Sailor out here putting up his parlay like Toji did for the Super Bowl. I don't have a parlay. I just have a plea to God. Please let us defeat Devil Magic.
Parlay, this is a prayer.
Yes. Please, bro. Please. Our good friend Moss in our chat, he sent me an Eagles edit yesterday. That shit had me ready to run through a fucking wall. I was like, yo, please send this hype over to the Eagles and let them trample these niggas. But hey, man, that's later today. We can get into the right now. Before we get into the rest of the podcast, is there any housekeeping notes you guys want to give? Anything interesting? Anything fun happen?
To all my fellow comrades who lost precious, valuable Monster Hunter beta time because PlayStation decided to, I don't feel so good. My heart goes out to you, unless you're a longsword main, in which case you deserve it. And as a longsword main, I would know.
Damn.
That's twice that I've heard something not good about longsword mains. I'm learning
the
something.
Dripstick. Listen, I love it when I've got the dripstick.
Well, the last thing I heard was from my coworker who fucking loves Monster Hunters. This is his favorite thing ever. And he was describing like his friend who's just like, yeah. Then you're gonna have Jordan who's gonna use the fucking longsword like the weeb that he is, and I'm like, so wait,
damn.
Is there not a katana? No, that's just a katana. He's just a weeb.
Yeah, also, first of all, don't out my name as Jordan, first of all. Yeah, it's awesome. I don't know why there are people who are upset that Monster Hunter is becoming anime. Like, good. You're right. I do want to do the Levi fucking spin attack thing on a dinosaur.
Sometimes adding anime is always the sickest shit ever. Yeah. I think people just need to accept that.
That shit's
people
pretty
look
cool.
at that and say that it sucks. The coolest thing you've ever seen.
The coolest thing ever. Welcome to being a Sonic fan for liking Sonic Frontiers. The Titan fights are really the only good thing. Shut the fuck up. He uses a big-ass sword to cut an enemy that's like a Shadow of the Colossus enemy in a volcano. Shut up.
That shit rules, bro. That shit rules. Longsword mains rise up. Hey, you got some love in the chat, bro.
Yeah, we don't deserve. We should stay down.
Stay down, stay hidden.
The most oppressed group in parentheses for a reason.
Hey, totally marginalized people justified.
Yeah. They need to reinforce that glass ceiling. We do not deserve to break their shit.
Make it lower.
Yeah.
Lower it. Yeah, man. Shouts out to the longsword or not.
Give Hunting Horn another buff.
Type shit. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we get into the chapters this week?
I watched The Truman Show. I watched Sonic 2.
Type
like
shit.
The first one better, hope the third's better. Anyways.
Type shit. Okay. All right. With all that being said, let's dive into the chapters this week. Let's start with One New Pisua, chapter 1139. Fellas, how are we feeling about this one?
That is the
I think it's-
craziest epithet you could give a character, the Mountain Eater.
Do you see his
I
baby
mean,
mom?
Like,
Yeah,
that
I
is
mean, look,
just
I think it's
wild.
justified.
That nigga earned it.
I'm not saying it's bad or anything. That's just crazy.
Bro,
That shit.
Scopper Gaban touched down in Elbaf. They said, "Who's that?" He's like, "That's the Mountain Eater." Ripley said, "Damn." Started twisting her hair. Damn. You know that one video where the dude's eating the burger and the person at the thing is like, "Do you eat pussy like that?" Like, that's Ripley. Like, she,
Yep.
like, that's
I don't know
her.
that one actually.
Oh man, I'll have to send it.
familiar.
I don't know if I can actually find it. Actually,
Hold on, we got a
I'ma try.
reference for this.
I'ma try.
let me add a reference.
That was like back in the Vine days. I don't know if it's like purged off the interwebs now.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah, but hey, Ripley deserves that. I'm happy for her, man. She deserves it all. Yeah, really cool seeing Scopper Gaban in this chapter. I love his personality so far. He is such a shithead, even in his old age. Like him just being like, "Oh, I love it when other people cause trouble." Like, damn, bro. All right, cool. Sounds like a guy who's been in one too many arguments and is just like, I hate it when I cause trouble because then I get in trouble. But when other people do it, hey, it's not my problem. Hey, that's fair. I respect that.
Children fighting. I can sell this.
I respect that. Yeah. I respect that shit. Hey, do what you gotta do. Yeah, man. Colin, older than Luffy. Hey, man, that's been a big deal in the community for some reason. He's a giant. I don't know what else to expect. He's a giant. He's
mean-
supposed to be older.
So
Yeah.
it's good to know that those people somehow didn't see. Oh, this is like one of the oldest characters there could be, who is basically this. The second half of One Piece is like Rayleigh, like in terms of like revealing everything. I don't know, guys. That giant kid being older than Luffy, there's just something about it I don't like. We must have read two different chapters if that's the case.
Hey, man. Hey, man. I don't know. I don't even know if people dislike it. It's just they're pointing it out, and it's like, yeah, true, man. Like,
That's how numbers work.
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
yeah. Like I don't know. Before I forget, shout out to Joseph Johnson for the $10 donation, saying, "Not gonna lie, I didn't care for how Hirohiko no diff Sengoku with no sorcery or training. Would have liked to see him struggle a bit more. Still no bad chapters, but that part was a rare miss for me. We'll get into it. I can understand how you feel." We'll get into that a little bit.
I'm trying real hard to be thinking about One Piece because it takes a lot of effort for me. So I saw like Hirohiko bodied Sengoku. I was like, huh?
Yeah, I was like, when did that happen during Marineford?
Wait a minute.
It's just like, Garp's a fraud, bro. Like,
What is that, an SBS? Well,
yeah, Garp didn't protect his mans. He's a fraud. Nah.
who the fuck does Garp protect?
Kobe, bro.
Kobe? Yes,
Not
Kobe.
Ace.
Kobe.
Not fucking Ace. I'll tell you that much. But hey, man. Shouts out to Scopper Gaban. He's a really cool personality so far. I love that he's already being compared to Sanji. Sanji stocks,
Yeah.
they have risen 1,000,000,000% this week, man. For a while, it was looking a little rough. We were in the dark a little bit, wondering what was going on. But we have
From
Oh, go ahead.
post time skip to present, it was
Yeah,
looking a little
yeah.
bit rough.
yeah. Like we had our ups, we had plenty of downs, but we are finally the light. We see it at the end of the tunnel, and thank God it's not a train; it's an actual light. We're golden, man. We're good. We finally have a bar set for Sanji. He's gonna stand he's gonna stand shoulder to shoulder rather with Luffy and Zoro, which is really how it's always been. That's just been the dynamic throughout the entire series. These are the wings of the Pirate King, but it's always nice to have that reaffirmed here by Oda again, because as we all know, agenda piece definitely agendaing. You know what I mean? So
Somehow outweighs what the creator
Yeah.
himself says.
yeah, agenda piece definitely agendas. So when Luffy coming out of Wano is like, "I'm Mr. Gear 5 guy," and Zoro's like, "I'm the king of hell," everyone's like, "Ha, look at Sanji, Jinbei's bounty bigger at lol." all that shit. So it's nice to see my boy come back, take his rightful spot again. It's gonna be dope. This chapter was Zoro fans 9/11. It was truly over, bro.
Yeah.
It was truly over.
I forgot. I'm trying to remember. I don't know how to really phrase this in a way that the way that some people are saying is like, oh, I remember now. I remember what we joked about last time, where it's like, oh my god, yeah, that's right. No wonder Roger didn't want to have to deal with like Emu and everything like that, because it's like basically hell. But then what we also learn is like, oh, what the Marines saw with the Roger Pirates is like, oh, it was just basically 3 Rogers with Roger, Rayleigh, and Copper now.
Yeah, bro. They pull up. They were just like, shit. Shit.
Nobody was having a good time.
Yeah, can you imagine being a Marine back in the day? You're just like sailing off, you're scouting. And then all of a sudden you see the Roger Pirates, Jolly Roger, and it's like, report, what do you see? You're just like, you know what? I don't even see anything.
I ain't see shit.
I don't even see anything.
There's this one scene from I don't know what show it is specifically, but it's from the just animated DC stuff, and it's like Batman's kind of injured, and he's just in a room, and a thug just opens the door, and he's like, "Is anybody in here?" He just sees Batman, doesn't say anything, closes the door, and his friend says, "You see anything?" Nope.
Yeah.
Walks away.
Nope.
That's exactly what they do now.
Exactly. Fuck no.
Literally the smartest thug to ever grace Gotham.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't see shit.
Yeah, I don't see nothing, man. I'm out of here.
If I was hired by the Marines and stuff, and they said, "Oh, you got to report like every single pirate see," if I saw only those 3, I'd just be like, "I didn't see shit."
Yeah, bro. Fucking Garp and Sengoku. They were fighting 2v3
every day.
Every fucking day.
God,
Bro,
I wish there was a 3rd Marine that was even fucking decent.
that's what I was saying. Bro, like, genuinely, it's really impressive. The fact that, like, you had these 3 crazy niggas just on the same crew. And obviously, it's setting up for the monster trio to be the same way. Zoro already has 1 billion berries, which is fucking crazy. But, like, it's insane. Like, you have these 3 guys running around, all of them super strong. Garp and Sengoku were just like, nah, where y'all niggas going? Come back. They were chasing him around everywhere, bro. Like, oh my god. Any other Marine that walked into him was just like, they just got walked through. Like, it wasn't even a competition. His only other comp at the time that we've really seen was like Whitebeard. You could say Big Mom too, because like, oh, he snuck around Big Mom and blah 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 blah. But like, the only real comp that we have seen thus far was like Garp, Sengoku, and Whitebeard, and these are like the strongest niggas we know. Jesus Christ, bro. Especially with Garp, like after seeing Galaxy Impact and him blowing up a fucking island practically, it's just like, oh man, I could have took out so many of these guys before. It's like, whoa, whoa, wait a minute, bro. So yeah, whole new level of respect for these, for a lot of people involved. It was really cool. I just thought Scopper Gaban, that was Aura Man. He had the cool shades, the nice hair, the axes. It was really nice. But yeah, he actually puts in some work, man. He puts in that work, so I respect
I
him.
hope he does some cool shit with those axes.
Oh,
He's an axe person.
He's gotta. He's absolutely going to. Yeah. Scopper is better than me,
axes, right?
Probably, but I just cannot remember.
Bro, you're not gonna disrespect
a good number
Axehand
of the
Morgan.
Giants do.
You're not gonna disrespect Axehand Morgan.
No, it's not him.
What the hell, bro? He's an axe.
I think no. I'm thinking of the bad guy from that one Lupin movie.
Axehand Morgan?
No.
The very same.
Oh, I think it. Yeah, you guys in the chat know. I'm not gonna check if they do, but I was literally just thinking of that. I'm like, yeah, the One Piece villain. Remember when he fights Lupin and he's like, "Oh, Lupin, you've got the French fruit." I don't know. That's
French fruit. Oui, oui.
I don't know if that's serious.
Yeah.
Do we know Scupper's bounty?
No.
Okay.
At least not yet.
I didn't think so.
It's probably gonna be something fucking insane though.
Do we know Rayleigh's?
I don't think we do. Let me
I
look
don't
it
think
up.
so,
I don't
right?
remember either,
Yeah,
actually.
Rayleigh Bounty, One Piece. I don't think we do. I could be dead ass wrong. It's just like a bunch of like fake
No, it's not
bounties that
known.
I've seen. Yeah,
No.
yeah. We don't.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think so. Because it's not. It also like. Not like it's not the bounties don't matter for characters that aren't Luffy, but they're definitely like less important.
Really, I love them. I think they're.
I
great
love
tool.
them, but like it's because I feel like there's a very distinct like path that Luffy's bounties take.
I get
As
that.
far as like and the whole idea that I forget what the theory is behind what his final bounty is going to be, but like obviously greater than Rogers.
Yeah,
Mhm.
bigger than Rogers.
But
Something to probably do with 5, 6.
Yeah,
because
5,
those
yeah,
6.
numbers.
but like the
Gone.
rest of the crew, it's always cool. Yes, that's what it is.
Mm.
The rest of the crew, it's always cool seeing their bounties increase, but it is also like, yeah, Brooks' bounty doesn't matter a whole lot. Like, it doesn't have a whole lot of thematic relevance. It's like, yeah, Zoro's will probably be higher than Mihawk's. Sanji's will be higher than...
Axehand Morgan?
Damn it! I was gonna say something similar, actually.
higher than Buggy's.
Okay, the
Well, I
third.
mean,
Buggy's
I
gonna
get
have the
people
highest
here.
bounty, but
Yeah.
no one's gonna give a shit.
I was about to say, yeah, man. Third strongest person on the crew having a bounty the equivalent of a Yonko is madness. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty lit. I like that. Let's push that agenda.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, yeah, right?
Yeah, man, it makes sense. Yeah, I like.
No offense. If at this point in the story, one kid could beat a Yonko.
Oh my god, get that
man.
nigga the fuck up out of here, bro. Didn't even really beat Big Mom. It was just circumstance, bro. Merchant, free fall dynamite merchant,
The whole
bro.
beat Big Mom.
Yeah, bro. Absolute merchant,
what's the-
bro.
What's the holes bounty?
Bro, at least 8 billion.
Yeah, 8 billion because he beat Kaido and Big Mom.
Exactly, bro. 2
That's
holes
how it
for
works.
2 Yonkos. See, you see the
The
vision.
fifth Yonko.
Yeah,
We got
bro.
the hole in the lava and we got down the stairs. Like, these are like just
Yeah,
powerful
man.
motherfuckers.
These are the most powerful people in all the series. Please respect them. Thank you very much. Do not leave them out of your top 30 discussions.
Down D hole. There you go.
Down D hole. Exactly, bro. What about dig D hole? How are we feeling about that one?
Who gets that power? Who did
Anyways.
they beat?
Yeah, man. Speaking of, we're talking about nonsense right now, right? Obviously.
What?
We're talking about
No.
nonsense, so let's get things back on track. Let's talk about my glorious King Road, man. Shouts out to
Oh my
Road.
fucking god.
Let's talk about
Road
my
work ahead.
glorious king, bro. Because last week I didn't really get to sing his praises too much. Things were a bit bigger than him. My glorious king had
Slightly bigger.
he had the kindness in his heart to step back. Not everything needs a reaction. Not everything needs to be about him. He dimmed his light so that others could shine, and I think that's very respectful. But now, this week, we're back at it again. Road, just being a really good guy, man. Just always taking care of his people, making sure they're safe, even from paranormal activity, man. Keeping everyone safe, making sure they're all accounted for, making sure they're all good, man. And how is he repaid? Nami, that thug, that degenerate, that thief, saying that she's gonna attack him, bro. What is your problem, man? My guy is making sure that you have clothes on your back, a roof over your head, and that you're well taken care of. What's the difference between Road and Luffy?
I mean,
What's the difference
for
between
starters,
Road and Zoro?
well, I mean, Road
What's
did
the
in fact
difference
drop him
between
from a 20-meter
Road
height.
and Sanji?
I will say there is no difference between Road and Zoro because they are both racist.
No, they're not, because Zoro said, like, oh, you're not racist, you're boring. We had that chapter. We had that chapter, man. He's better than that, man. Road knows what month it is, okay? He's above that. So, hey, shouts out to my guy, Road. Road, first off, Luffy stolen valor, okay? Because Road would have absolutely caught them, but Luffy just came in to steal it and make it look like he did it. We understand. You want to be the real sun god, trying to flex in front of the real sun god. Oh, look at me. You're not like that, little bro. Calm down. Chill out, you know. Get past the fucking third mate of the Pirate King's crew first, buddy, okay? Get past him.
Third mates.
Yeah, get past him, man. And shouts out again. My glorious king is so respectful. Luffy was like, "Oh, you're Sir Ya?" He said, "Whoa. That's Mr. Ya to you, okay? That's Mr. Ya. Please put some respect on that name." You know, I think that is a very kind and caring soul who makes sure everyone who's in his presence is well taken care of, well respected, well met, all that good stuff, man. I think everyone should be more like Road. I think we should all be more accepting and kind to the people around us. I think this is a lesson to live by.
So, aside from Road being a little bitch this chapter, what else did you like about it?
What the fuck do you mean, bro? What are
I
we
think you know
talking
exactly what I mean.
about? Bro, first off, a dude from behind, let's talk about the context of it. Okay, let's talk about the context of this whole thing. They pull up.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
They pull up on a satanic black magic Kansas City chief ritual in their king's throne room. Okay, they walked in on the chief's locker room during halftime. They walked in on a fucking satanic ritual in the middle of their former king's throne room. They're like, "What the hell is this? Yo, was our king into some black magic? Is this nigga King Von? Yo, is he a thug?" And then he gets a call from behind. Straw Hat Luffy. Is that Satan's strongest soldier? Bro, he has a right to be afraid. We were just looking at black magic. We were looking at the paranormal. We stared into the eye of the abyss, but we did not blink. We did not falter.
I think he did blink.
No.
Definition.
No.
We literally just saw him run away.
Bro,
He was ready to fucking leave.
No. He stared into the eye of the abyss, and he
Bro
did
is
not
a-
blink. He
Bro
did
is a
not
fucking-
blink.
He
exactly
is
what
a
he
falter.
did
He is
not
a falter
blink.
pilled blink.
He
cell.
did not blink, but when the
Were we reading the
abyss,
same chapter?
oh my God, listen, when the abyss blinked at Road, it had no choice but to send Satan's strongest to get him to look behind him, okay? Because he knew you were not staring in the eyes of the real sun god, okay? The real goat. That's Big Road, all right? And he knew that. So he sent in Satan's strongest soldier, that thug named Mr. Ya, aka Scopper Gaban. All right? That goddamn awful human being. This man is giving birth to bastards. He's not there for his child anymore. And this is who your goat is? Nah, bro. That's a sick man right there, bro. And then on top of that, you also have to consider the context that as Road was walking around making sure all of his people were protected, he got an axe thrown at his head. For what? For what? Just because he wanted to keep the people around him safe from harm? He gets an axe thrown at him, his face almost gets lopped off. This is some bullshit, man. This is some bullshit, man. My guy is just making sure everyone is well protected. And he gets killed for it? Almost killed for it? Scared? Nah, man. Nah, man. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. This is some nonsense, bro.
Oh, I agree.
This is some, hey,
Oh no, I agree.
you shut your ass up.
This is complete nonsense.
You shut
I
your
think in that
ass
regard, we
up.
actually agree.
You
I
shut
think
your
that
ass
that
up here.
nonsense is actually maybe a little different.
You shut your ass up. Everyone was like, oh, wow, what's this crazy hockey that Luffy's feeling on Egghead? It was just bum-ass Kizaru, bro. And niggas were well immersed in, oh, my God, it's a cliffhanger. What's going to happen next week? But now you see a real nigga drop his guard because he's safe in the comfort of his friends. And now it's used as a slight against him? Y'all don't know ball, bro.
There's no way they're his friends. There's no way.
No.
That's not even like.
Bro.
There's no way you could say that they're friends. They don't like him.
No, bro, he's constantly keeping them safe. They should be his friends, man. They should be
He literally
thankful.
dropped them.
They should be thankful. He would have caught them, bro.
Bitch, you know he wouldn't have.
I know he would because I know my goat. Okay?
Clearly not.
I know
Yours
my
is a
goat.
very different story than what we actually fucking read this week.
No, I did not. You just don't want to see the truth because the propaganda has got you fooled. Okay? The propaganda
yes.
has come back.
Known as One Piece.
Yes, agenda piece, bro. It's a real thing. You niggas were slandering the fucking Pirate King not too long ago.
Yeah, because that was hilarious.
You niggas would sweat scale Jesus if he came back in this series. Hell no, bro. You are not about to disrespect the real sun god. That's big road right there, man. Exposing Elbaf's secrets, making sure everyone's protected, protecting those who cannot defend themselves, the voice of the voiceless, that is road. And you need to understand.
If we say that we understand, can this be over?
Yeah, actually, thank you.
All right, cool.
Okay, so, yeah, we understand.
My
we
principles aren't
understand.
worth that much.
Oh,
to me.
thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Hey, man, you know, we here in the Church of Road, we gladly welcome you.
You know what?
Yes,
I believe that you believe what you're saying, and I find that kind of commitment and faith admirable.
Oh, thank you.
I agree. I completely agree with you, Sky.
Oh.
And don't worry, I'll be sure to give you your special medication later.
What? What are you talking about?
No,
I don't like that medication. It makes my head feel dizzy.
I don't need
Particles, I hate
medication.
stop it.
I don't need
Right.
medication.
Oh, Chainsaw Man, chapter 192.
Damn,
Fellas,
we're just skipping past,
Oh, that's
like,
weird.
oh, you have to
Hold on,
fight
let
for
me
the
look
key to, like, get Loki out. We're gonna
I
skip
was also
past.
gonna question like, how do we feel about Shanks like beating the shit out of Loki?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're just gonna skip past these things, man. Now, listen, man, I know you guys have seen the light recently, but that doesn't mean we could just, overtake
that doesn't
everything
mean you gotta
else.
go blind.
Yeah, man. So let's go back a little bit, right? You have them seeing the circle for the summonings, for the gods nights, the holy nights, and I think we just I'm pretty sure Tacco just brought this up, and now it's confirmed here in this chapter. Like, I'm pretty sure he mentioned this before on the podcast that he wouldn't be surprised something like this would happen, and here it is. Our boy was right once again. And
I hate it when that happens.
that could have.
I hate it when the guy who knows everything about One Piece is right about One
No,
Piece.
you guys right about One Piece. It's still fucking frustrating.
Why he
Fuck,
talking
man.
like he know everything? What the fuck does he think he knows? Yeah, no. I think this could be a very interesting development because currently Shamrock and how did I forget her name? Gunko, yes, thank you. Knew it was a G, I just forgot. Shamrock and Gunko, they're on their way back now to teleport someone else to come help them. Teleport someone or some ones to come help them. So this encounter with Scopper Gaban and Luffy, it could very well be interrupted. They could already meet like the main bad guys here already. And that could be a pretty big deal, Maybe we could have that moment where Luffy just sees Shamrock and he knows, like, you are not him, bro. You are not Shanks. So, hey, could happen. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that development as time goes on. Looking forward to that. And I'm kind of surprised that I guess Scopper Gaban is like, oh, you gotta beat me in order to get this key here. I'm kind of surprised, but I guess it does make sense. Scopper has been looking forward to seeing Luffy, talking about, oh, I've heard these stories about you. You beat Kaido. This is just like his little test. See if you can actually do what you're claiming that you want to do if Loki is a bad dude here. And again, I like the comparison with Shanks. I like him. Like, this has been a constant for Luffy throughout here. It's like, oh, Shanks did this, Shanks did that. So it's going to be really impressive to see Luffy. I imagine, like, I don't think he's going to neg-diff Scopper Gaban here. And like I said, the fight could just very well be interrupted. But if him and Scopper do have a complete brawl, I'm looking forward to Luffy just kind of, like, showcasing how much stronger he is. Because I love moments like that.
It's all about being a better pirate than Shanks.
Type. Yeah, man. It's gonna be really cool. This chapter was nice and short, but it was very sweet. Shout out Sabrina Carpenter.
How do you guys feel? Because this is something I thought was interesting. That Scopper is setting up for these parallels with Sanji, but like right now in this fight that is theoretically about to start, Sanji isn't there.
No.
I mean, I'm sure they'll meet later after the fight. For sure, because they got to have a conversation with that whole emissary of love of stuff he was going on before. Because yeah, this guy is just definitely just a Sanji of the Roger Pirates. It's like if he wasn't before, or he definitely is now. Oh, after calling himself the preacher of love.
Roger's the one that's like, all right, listen, guys, you just gotta I know he's a little weird, but he helped me through some really tough times. Mountains.
Oh no!
I love giant puss.
I mean, that's how Haruden was definitely with Road, so I think it's fair.
He said, helped me through some really tough times.
I thought you saw the light. I thought you.
No, okay, hold on. That is just a fact. That is just a fact. No, Harden was just like, oh, Railroad's a little weak, and that can exist in both your realities at the same time. There's no need to have an entire argument that's going to take 20 more minutes. Okay, it's all fine.
Game recognized game. Sailor. You're starting to look a little unfamiliar to me.
Sailor, what would Road do in this situation?
You know what? You're right. He would.
Right?
WWRD.
You're right.
Wouldn't he take the higher road?
That does have a nice ring to it. That sounds like something he would do.
God damn it! I just invented a campaign slogan for him.
I will
take his side. Take the high road.
Hey, take the high road.
I will sit back. I will add these things to my agenda, and I will, move on.
It really is a campaign. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that as far as with what I brought up with Sanji not being there for these parallels with Scopper, I think that this is going to be what's going to happen next is a classic altercation that One Piece is so known for.
Oh yes.
That's going to be I probably think the next chapter it'll be part of, if not most of the chapter, and then it's going to end with Shamrock coming back. And then they're gonna obviously switch up and focus on confronting him, and then plot goes from there. But eventually we'll see, because that's the thing is that they can't just beat Scopper here, because especially if we're building these parallels with Sanji, it's if Luffy beats him, it's it's a step for him as far as beating a member of Roger's crew. But really, I'd be really upset if Zoro beat him.
Hey man, the way you can look at it is Scopper is old and washed at this point. So he's not gonna be as strong as he was back in the day. And besides, Sanji is just gonna be stronger than Scopper anyway. So even if Luffy beats him, it's just you know.
Now, Sailor, those are words of logic.
Right,
and
right, right,
reason.
right.
And I think it's admirable that you think that certain people would exhibit that kind of cognitive function.
Yeah, man.
Lend me your strength, Odin. This is old ass broken hips Scopper Gaban.
Scopper.
Yeah.
This is
Barely
Grandpa
sharpened axes.
Gaban.
I mean, look, in fairness, there's one thing we should have
Ted
learned.
Morgan's teacher went up again.
All right, but look, I mean, it's like we were saying before, or he is still obviously going to put up a decent fight. Because, like, if there's one thing we've learned from One Piece right now, is that you don't underestimate old people. Also, it should still be
I'll
interesting.
underestimate them all day. I underestimate the shit out of old
yes.
people.
Look, we know, Sky, you have a thing against the elderly. You've voiced this multiple times.
Everyone
He hates
knows
you, bro.
He does, yeah.
Ooh, I hate old people. Ooh. Ooh.
I don't
With
see
their
why you're.
sensible polo
I don't see why you-
shirts.
I don't see what you're so happy about, Sailor, or he hates you the most.
This is just stolen valor. He just took my joke and said it louder, and now people laugh at it. This is oh my
I'm
god!
happy at the fact that he had the audacity to do so.
That nigga tried to get that shit off 3 times and said, "No, I'm doing it."
This is how we know that y'all are old. That was like watching old people play tennis.
What the hell? I'm being slandered here. But yeah, I definitely think that this might be a situation where, like Blackbeard when he pulled up to Amazon Lily and Rayleigh pulled up and, Aura farmed and he was just like, good joke, Silver. Shut up. Shut up.
Thank you, know that. I appreciate it.
Oh, Silver's got buff.
But this might be a situation where, Rayleigh pulled up and he was like, I was able to scare him off just because of, who I am. But if we would have fought, Aura. But if we would have fought, I would have lost. I can see it being a sort of situation here where it's like, because of who Gaban is being so strong, he can definitely put up a fight against Luffy, but ultimately he's still going to lose, He's still going to get cooked. But that's okay. It's going to be a respectful L. He's going to hand him the key and he's going to be like, oh, you really can beat up Loki. That's awesome. And then we're going to go free him.
I totally forgot that Rayleigh was just like, yeah, now my ass would have lost.
Yeah, dead ass. They're just like, thank you so much for saving us, Rayleigh. He was like,
you guys see that shit? That was terrifying.
Sheesh.
You're going to turn me into a girl. I don't want to be a fucking girl like you.
I can't be here today, but I love Kagurabachi. Hey, shouts out, Manu. Shouts out. Yeah, man. Good chapter. I really like this chapter. Reminded me of old school One Piece. I mess with this a lot. Really good stuff. Is there anything else you guys wanted to get into before we move on to our next one this week?
Well, I don't know. Is Silver giving us permission to move on?
In a moment, I will.
After all.
In a moment. I just want to give like we started off it like this and we want to end it like this. I want to give off one last shout out to our world famous Mountain Eater. Like, this man is my hero. Oh, like, all the power to you, man.
Shouts out. We love giant pussy.
Nothing but respect.
Yeah, man. We
okay,
respect it.
now we can move on.
All right, so Chainsaw Man chapter 192. We talked about pussy in a very complimentary manner just a couple seconds ago. I'm feeling very derogatory about pussy right now, but fellas, how are we feeling about it?
Pussy derogatory.
Okay, so a lot of mixed on this chapter. Let me just put it this way: this was a great Yoru chapter, but a very meh Denji chapter for me.
Yeah, I am in the same boat. I have definitely, thankfully we have this podcast like almost a week after the chapter released. Because I'm telling you right now, if we had that podcast on that Tuesday, I would have been up here hooting and hollering, bro. I would have been like, what the fuck are we even doing? What is happening, man? And low-key, those feelings still persist, but I've been kind of talked down a little bit. I've tried to talk to people about it. I've been talked off the ledge. I've been trying to, be more open to what's happening here. This still is not my favorite chapter in terms of just Denji. I love the chapter for Yoru. But in terms of Denji, I'm just tired, boss. I'm not gonna lie. At worst, it's like, man, what the fuck are we doing? At best, it's like, well, Denji is still coping. We still haven't seen like the bottom of it. You could see his expressions in this chapter. Obviously, he's looking pretty messed up. So, Denji is still going through some things, and, we'll eventually sort them out. But I want to believe it. I want to, sit there. I want to sit here and be like, all right, I'm ready. But at the same time, it's like, holy fuck, dude. Oh my God. Like, we're still doing this. Like, I think I'm starting to understand why I guess understand even more outside of just how much it was built up. I'm starting to understand more about why I wanted Asa and Denji to have a legitimate talk, because I think there is something that can be said about how someone who has been through as much horrific shit as Denji, if he doesn't have a support system, he's bound to just keep going back through those same things again. And I really wanted Asa to start to become that support system, and in turn Denji become that support system for Asa. And I'm really looking forward to when that time eventually does come. So to see this continue to be the case and for it to persist, it's like, okay, I understand it, but at the same time, we're almost 100 chapters deep. And I think Zenith brought up a really good interpretation, just put it all into words better than I could, where he was like, it feels like the story points out Denji's feelings, but rather than like ruminating on them and like actually spending time with them, we just kind of keep moving. And so I feel this exact same way about this chapter here, where it's like, okay, yeah, Denji's stuff, like his thoughts and emotions can finally start to be processed a little later on. It seems like we're starting to get more and more towards the end phase of this story. We finally mentioned power for the first time in forever. We're talking about we're talking about the Death Devil and all that good stuff. So it looks like we're definitely starting to gear up towards the end, and this could be a moment coming up where Denji's feelings, we finally like, okay, let's sit down, let's try to unpack some things, process some things. It's not going to fix everything, of course, but let's start trying to get better. But man, I have been waiting for almost 100 chapters, and it feels like I've been pump faked so many times. I want to remain diligent. I want to remain hopeful, but it's just very hard right now. Yeah, true.
I like Yoru, I choose to get through Chainsaw Man by focusing on the one thing that I like, and sometimes that changes, because sometimes it's like, ooh, Yoru, I don't know about that. And to be fair, I don't know about that for her. She's off her rocker right now.
Yeah.
She could have just blown Yoshida's head off.
Yeah, crazy ass pump fake. I was going to talk about that.
Did not.
Yeah.
I don't know why she didn't. I wasn't expecting Yoshida to die. Like, I mentioned, like, oh, it's probably not going to work or anything. But no, it did. She just didn't do it. It's like, why? Because, like, her whole thing to Denji was like, haha, Yoshida can't follow his instincts. And then she just doesn't for some reason. Like, that was kind of weird.
It's because Fujimoto fucking loves him. He loves Yoshida. He fucking loves that kid.
That guy. Yeah.
My shala.
My little cookie.
There are moments where I totally get it. Where I'm like, I like Yoshida too, but it's not consistent.
Yeah, I like Yoshida. It's just
I love Yoshida in part 1. He's just the dude who fucking vibed.
He is, very vibes based in part 1. Very big vibes guy, that Yoshida in part 1.
Big vibe guy.
Yeah, big vibe guy.
It was in
The
part 1.
vibe devil.
Yes, right. Yes, he was in part 1. He fought Quan Chi. Got his ass beat, but he fought
Yeah, he
Quan
was,
Chi.
Yeah.
In the Assassin's arc.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
Remember,
he
he
legit
was aura farming, and we're like, I can't wait for him to stop doing that.
He
and then
legit just
Big
has
Mother
like
went,
one of my
"Ha, ha,
favorite
ha."
moments in the whole series where like it's the brothers, the guy who can like
Transform.
change their appearances,
Yeah.
yeah, and stuff. And he grabs one of them, beats the shit out of him off screen, looks at the other guy and is like,
No.
that could be the other guy. But like a bitch like you wouldn't puke. Whatever. And then just walks
Bro,
away.
Jigga, no, he didn't beat the shit out of him. He killed him.
killed him.
He died. He literally
you to
beat
death.
him to death. He beat him to death in the alley. Came out. He was just like, hey. The other guy's like, hey. He's like, I'll leave you to puking. Just turns around like, oh my god, dude. I love that. And when him and Kishibe are talking, he's like, oh, are you gonna get more involved in what's going on with Makima and public safety? He's like, hell no, bro. I have exams coming up. I got shit to study for, man. We got priorities. Yeah, I really like Yoshida in part 2. So like, I'm not mad that he didn't die here. It was just very weird that Yoru was like, ha, they can't follow their instincts. Pump fake. It's like, oh, okay. That's something.
Pump and dump scheme.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's because that's Yoru's instincts. It's the front. And then I get anything actually done.
But yeah, no. Oh, that actually is a good transition here because like Yoru is, like I said, this was a pretty good Yoru chapter, and I do find it interesting about how she's going about this because like it's clear that she's got something for Denji now, but it's like has no idea how to actually demonstrate it beyond just being a devil. Well, like she's I think she's mostly trying to work off of what Asa's feeling right now, but even the fact that even she doesn't know much about how she feels does not help. Like, it's a really interesting dynamic to watch how this plays out, you know?
She's like the worst wingman ever.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna be
He's an
so
owl.
yes. I'm gonna be so for real. If we open next chapter and Asa is like cool with what's happening right now, that is gonna open the door for some really nasty conversations that I do not care to have. So I am hoping that doesn't fucking happen, because you're gonna have people go back to the chapter, what was it, 167, where they were in the alley, and you're gonna have Yoru, after Asa said, I didn't want to do that, like, why would you make me do that? I didn't want to do that. You're gonna straight up shit that people say after they abuse someone. And we're gonna have people look back on that and be like, see, Asa liked Denji and da-da-da. And it's gonna be like, oh my god, bro. Like, it's gonna be so fucking miserable. Like, Chainsaw Man discourse is gonna be so just, ugh. So I am very much hoping that Asa is like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Can you stop? Like, that's just for my sake, my well-being. Because again, if I open that chapter and Asa's like, yeah, I also wanted to put my butt on Denji right now, I'm gonna fall to my fucking knees. There could be a moment where it's like, oh, like, look at Asa. She's doing a sexual thing with Denji, but it's her choice this time. And that could be like very impactful. But again, having Yoru pilot her fucking body against her will and be like, yeah, I guess I'm okay with it. It's just like, ugh. Please don't. So I hope that shit doesn't happen next chapter. Me personally.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough being a Chainsaw Man fan.
That's
Even
rough, buddy.
even when things are going good, which they're not right now, but
Yeah.
even when things are going good, it's always just like, when is he gonna do something?
Yeah, man. I just like, and even then, like, I think you could still like have a conversation about like, okay, if Asa is okay with this, like, this situation And the other situation in the alley, are we cutting out? It says we're good on my end. Hopefully we're not still cutting out.
I mean, I hear you.
But it like you could still have a conversation of like differentiating things. Saying we're cutting out again. Maybe that's just old. I don't know, because it says we're all good on this end. I'll just keep talking and then y'all let me know. Chat room, y'all let me know. You could have a talk about differentiating things, about how like before Asa did not consent to this. Now she is consenting to it, and that's the biggest difference in this situation. And I think that is still a good conversation to have. I think it's like, oh, okay, yep, this is good. This is good. This situation is bad. But a lot of people are going to look at it and be like, nah, see? She wanted it on both times. And it's like, oh, brother. Oh, God. I just do not believe that a lot of people are mature enough to handle that whole thing. So I am just hoping to avoid that conversation altogether. But that's just
Sir, another Asa touching Denji chapters hit Chainsaw Man's like, ah, shit.
Yeah, genuinely, bro. People, one of the funniest tweets I've ever seen was someone saying like Fujimoto uses essay like Oda uses flashbacks, or it was like Kishimoto uses flashbacks. That shit was hilarious.
The hand job scene's gonna be like the swing from Naruto.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh God. Yoru is
you better not show that goddamn alley again.
You better not know. Yoru is one of the best parts of this chapter, but she reminds me of my ex, so I'm torn. Are you okay? Like,
ex Makio's doing better. Good for you.
Are you okay, Makio? Genuinely, like, this is a cause for concern, low key.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Well, we're happy to hear X,
yeah, I'm happy to hear X. Know your worth, King. Know your worth.
Yeah.
I respect that. Yeah. I am trying to remain hopeful in these very dark times that are current day part 2, but it is kind of difficult. I'm not okay. I'm traumatized. Fuck, bro. Hopefully you'll feel better. That shit sounds horrible. Jesus. Yeah, hopefully. Whoa, just dropped all my shit all over the floor. But hopefully, we can make things feel a little bit better for you. Shit sounds awful. That
is because that's the thing, is that with Chainsaw Man, these are incredibly sensitive topics.
Yes.
Yeah.
And serious, and it's good that there's a series that is as popular that is acknowledging them in any regard. But of course, that means that the way that it navigates it is always going to be very subject to scrutiny, as it should be. And Chainsaw Man Fujimoto has demonstrated a wide range of capacity to tackle that issue. Because like Chainsaw Man Part 1, I think it does it great.
Amazing. Yeah.
Fire Punch? Maybe less so.
Yeah, maybe a little bit less.
A little bit less.
Try.
Yeah. Between Fire Punch and Chainsaw Man Part 1, where will Part 2 land? What a strange sentence. But,
this is on the Chainsaw Man Part 1 or Fire Punch.
Yeah.
Lemon Cloud, that's a pretty good origin story, though. That's not what you
evil,
say.
Bro. Yeah, that doesn't help. What the
That's not what we say.
What the hell? This is pure evil, man. Just like, damn, that's fucked up what they be doing to y'all. Good story, though. What the hell? What the hell? Nah, man.
That's the kind of story that gets you into the top 25 anime pro tags. Like, that's not.
No, bro. No.
In real life, we say, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Be like, damn, that's fucked up, man. I'm sorry to hear that. That's damn, bro. This man out here thinking of aura. What the hell?
Nice lore. Huh?
Good. Damn. I'm thriving on my own now. It's chill, but I'm not trying to get into it with anyone anytime soon. Understandable, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course.
Understandable. Yeah. Take your time. Take your
Mhm.
time, man. I have very much been because my first like real relationship I was quote unquote dating someone when I was in elementary school. That shit ain't real, nigga. So like come on, that shit ain't fucking real. But so when I was in my first relationship, my first actual one, it went pretty bad. And so like that kind of like it was horrible for me, but it kind of helped me like in a way I think I needed that because it helped me look at myself and kind of point out the things that I did wrong and like how I could be better. Obviously not trying to justify all the horrible shit that people like do to you. That shit ain't right. Don't listen to this podcast and be like, you're so right, Sailor. I'm gonna go cheat on my partner now. Like, no, don't do that.
It'll
Don't
be good for their character development.
Yeah, right. It'll help them be a better person. I'm building this bitch up. Let's go. Like, no, don't do that, please. But for me, because I didn't really have a way to like get closure in regards to how my relationship ended, that was a way for me to find that closure. That was a way for me to process everything that has happened. And this took like years of like, okay, this happened, this happened, this happened. I probably could have did this better. Or, oh, I probably should have listened a little bit more here. What I'm saying here is it's not your fault at all what happened to you, because I don't want it to come across that way. But you can take these horrible, fucked up experiences and that can help build you into somebody better for the future. And that's the way that I chose to look at things. Obviously, I know not everyone else looks at things like that as well. But in order to make you feel at least some sort of like hope, I guess, you're already moved on. You're already on to bigger and better things. So maybe you don't need to hear it from me. But I am just very happy for you that you were able to move on from that aspect of your life. I hope you learned something that you can take and make you a better person. And hey, even if you never do get into it with anyone else anymore, because I can only speak from my experiences. I'm very much hey, if I date someone, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So even if you don't ever like get together with somebody else, I hope that you can just be proud of who you are and who you end up becoming by the end of this whole thing here. So that's my advice. That's my little thing here. That's my little TED talk. Thank y'all for coming.
It's very rare for there to be a reason for the things that we go through, because oftentimes those are just tragedies and misfortunes that happen fucking because. But there is still meaning that you can get from that.
Mm-hmm.
That you can use to make your life better.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I hope you're all good. Appreciate that, yo. Much love, y'all. Hey, man. Shouts out to you. Shouts out to you. Sailor, are you maidenless? I am, brother. And I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty great. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty sick. I listened to my coworkers, they're just like, oh man, I gotta go hang out with like my girlfriend or my boyfriend. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm going home to sleep.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm going home to edit a video or play Street Fighter.
It's like, damn, that's awesome. That sucks, dude. Did you know that Mai just released this?
Yeah. Can I offer you a Mai Shiranui in these trying times?
Yeah, these trying times.
Yeah. Yeah, genuinely. I think it's pretty sick. I think it's pretty cool. So hey, that's why I'm just like, hey, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. I'm good, man. I'm good. But yeah, not everyone is built like that. So I just hope that you are all good at the end of the day. You find the path that you need to take and you make it out to the other side. All that good stuff. I wish that for all of y'all. All of y'all. And hopefully if y'all are in a relationship right now, I hope it goes good. But anyway, that is enough about that for right now. things got real because this chapter is ass. No, I'm kidding. This chapter was
I was
fine.
about to say, and if we are talking about tragedies that we should seek meaning in, being a Chainsaw Man is going to be the greatest trial any of us go through. And speaking of trials that we're about to go through, hey, everyone say hi to Tacco.
Whoa, Tacco!
Oh, what the fuck?
Hey,
What's up?
how you doing, bro?
Oh, you know, talking about the tragedies of life. You know what Chainsaw Man does to people.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man. When you write the timestamps, you need to put this as Slice of Shit Podcast. Hey, man, will do. I'll do that for you. Taco, before, because I think we're all done with Chainsaw Man, did you want to give any thoughts on One Piece? Like, how did you feel about this chapter? You know, anything interesting you could think of?
Yeah. So what chapters came out this week?
It was, for the podcast, it was One Piece chapter 1139, Chainsaw Man 192, and then Kagurabachi 67.
Yeah. I'm still not caught up on Chainsaw Man and Kagurabachi. So
Yeah.
One Piece is the only chapter I read this week.
Yeah, you're all good.
I thought the One Piece chapter was very good. Oda had a pretty good streak before going on break. Scopper Gaban. I mean, it's a big reveal technically, but also it's something that like people have seen coming for a while. So I don't think it was like. Yeah, well, I remember you talking about it 14 years ago when he first showed up on the cover story.
I do too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember 14 years ago, you were like, bro, this guy drinking with Crocus, that's definitely Scopper Gaban.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we knew his name back then.
Which is so
I don't think
crazy
so.
because I was, because I don't know if I knew how to read when I was 8 years old, but I still saw that and I knew.
Yeah, bro, it was a feeling. Big vibes guy, Sky is.
Big vibes, guy.
Yeah, big vibes guy. Yeah, I know that he had the vision and it came true. So thank you for seeing that through.
How do you feel about that, Scott? Because that's like a big thing One Piece fans make a big deal about. But just like the idea that 14 years ago, because what it was back during the time skip, when the time skip first happened, I believe. It might not be 14 years. That doesn't seem right.
14 years ago. There's no fucking way.
No, it would have been 2011.
Oh god! Oh my god!
Yeah,
it's not 2022. Holy shit! Oh my god!
Damn!
Oh my actual god!
Bro got flash banged. Holy!
I'm not from this time. I swear to God.
Bro's living in 2000 and late.
I'm fairly certain it was 14 years ago, but someone in chat will correct me if I'm wrong. But
That is
during
roughly around
when the time skip first happened, the first cover story that it was like showing everyone's reactions to the Straw Hats coming back, like the newspaper from Subodhi. And it just went through like every single person like we've met through the journey. And the Crocus chapter, where it's Crocus and Laboon at Reverse Mountain, it's them drinking with a guy, which now we know it's Scopper Gaban because he's the same hat, the same cape, same hair. It's him. But back then, we had no idea who it was. And Scopper Gaban is a character. His name was first revealed in an SBS, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't stated in the story the first time we heard it. It was like someone asked Oda a question, and he was like, yeah, there's Gold Roger, Silver's Rayleigh, and Scopper Gaban. Get it? Wink, wink. But how do you feel
I get
about
it
that?
because Gaban.
14 years ago, he did a cover story, drew this character that no one knew who it was, and then now we know it's Scopper Gaban and he's showing up in the story.
I think that it is. I mean, I think it's awesome. Like, I truly think that is an incredibly because I don't think the actual planning aspect is particularly impressive. Because it's like, yeah, you have basically what happened. He's like, oh, there's Gold Roger, and then like he had crew members, and one of them's going to show up eventually in the story, so I'm going to have him like show up in the SBS here. That like, I don't think that is. It's not an example of really elaborate foreshadowing, but it is an example of incredible patience. Because I think the natural desire for something like that would be to make a big thing out of it. Not just have it be like an SBS, or not SBS, but like a cover page, where it's like, oh, it's a guy that's like sitting down with a character we knew from a whole long time ago. I think the natural instinct would be to have that be like the end of a chapter, and it'd be like, oh, who is this mysterious figure? And then like constantly be alluding to it for a long time. But no, it's just he put him in not even a page of the story, just a cover page. And then didn't really bring him up again until, right now, even though he shows up in flashbacks and stuff. But
yeah, because I do want to point out, technically speaking, and I'm sure someone is going to point this out in chat, or if they haven't already, his Scopper Gaban's first appearance, the first time he shows up in the manga, is chapter 19.
I was
Which
going
is-
to say, it's
right,
like
'cause,
really early
Buggy
on.
flashback or something, right?
It's Buggy's flashback. When Buggy's having his flashback, because at the time we did not know him and Shanks were members of the Roger Pirates. We learned that later.
yeah,
But we see Buggy and Shanks with the Roger Pirates, and there is a character in that flashback that is just Scopper Gaban. Like, it's him. He's using the axe. He has the glasses, the ponytail. Like, it's him. And I can't prove this, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that was Scopper Gaban when Oda first drew it.
Hell
Now-
no.
Oda could sit here and be like, "No, I had it planned. That was him from the start." I don't know.
Nah, bro.
I'm not.
Nah.
I'm not.
No.
I'm the biggest Oda dick writer here. I'm not willing to give him that. I feel like he probably went back and was like, "This is a cool character. I'll just make him."
Yeah,
Damn,
I
that's
was
the
cooking.
character design. Just use it.
As
Yeah.
the biggest Oda skeptic when it comes to like how far he plans things, because I admit, like 100%, stuff like that Scopper cover page, totally planned. There's a whole lot of stuff, but it's also like I'm one of the people who doesn't think that hockey was planned. Like, I think you can explain away every instance of like early pre-time skip where it's used. I think you can explain that away as just anime-isms.
I think
that-
he had like a broad idea, but no, the system of hockey. No.
Yeah, the system was not like I
Shanks
don't
just
think.
scared away like the CBs just because.
I
his
do
dick
not
was
think
fat.
Shanks. I do not think Shanks used Conquerors. I do not think Zoro used armament. I think maybe NL used observation, but I also think it's entirely possible that was just one of the things where it's like, oh yeah, Shandians do that, which he's not a Shandian, but regardless.
Yeah, it was called Mantra back then.
Yeah, exactly, and like
Yeah, but it wasn't connected.
it's. I believe that he had the idea of like, oh yeah, and like there are certain people who can like see more than others, and that's probably inspired because Usopp's a sniper, so that would have been a thing with him. But I'm a big skeptic as far as like how far he plans things ahead.
I'm 100% sure he always planned on Shanks and Buggy being from Roger's crew.
Yeah, because that's
I
like
think that is
stuff.
Yeah, that's without a doubt. But the fact that character is Scopper Gaban, it's like, well, I don't think he was Scopper Gaban when he first showed up. He probably
It's just-
later turned him into Scopper Gaban.
My
I think.
example
Go ahead.
of like that kind. I'm not even sure how to describe that phenomenon, but it's when because in the first chapter, I think it's like the one pirate dude breaks down the door to the tavern that Shanks and the others are in, and then when the door's like fixed, and someone asks Oda like, "Oh, what happened there?" And he's like, "Oh, well, there's this craftsman that lives in the village that just like fixed the door immediately after it was broken." And then he used that character design for the one dude in Wano that Frankie is working with plans to the castle. It's like, okay, that's that's a good.
There's one of my favorite instances of that is, and admittedly, this is nowhere near as impressive because the time frame is significantly shorter. I think it was only like literally a year or two. But when it was an SBS during Wano, someone asked Oda. I don't know if anyone asked Oda this. I got to be honest. I think he just did it because he's a fucking troll. But they were just like, he was just like, oh, these are what Zoro's swords would look like if there were people. Like if his swords were human, if they had human personas, this is what they would look like. And all three of them look ugly as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right,
really,
yeah.
really dumb. And one of them, I think it was Enma. No. It was the Wado Ichimonji. I'm pretty sure it was the Wado Ichimonji. It was this like really ugly looking dude. And everyone was like, all right, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny, joke, whatever. And then later in Zoro's flashback, he gets in the king fight. Zoro meets the craftsman who created the Wado Ichimonji, and it's him. It's a younger Wado Ichimonji's human persona is a younger version of that character, but it is just him.
Which
And I
could
just thought that
probably
really
lead to
funny.
like a crazy reveal, like you can pour hockey, and like when you're making a blade, put your hockey into it, and now like your willpower is in it, and blah, like
Fucking Anubis ass shit.
Yeah.
Jojo.
yeah, right. Like it could just lead to some wild shit, and it's just like, oh yeah, I just put this in here.
Mhm. And but yeah, Scopper Gaban's cool. I my biggest takeaway from the chapter is a couple years ago, I was very unsure of what Sanji's ceiling would be
Right.
by the end of the series. Because I think for a long time, I figured Luffy would be one of the strongest, if not the strongest character by the end. He's going to be on the level of Roger and Joy Boy, if not surpass them by the end. And as far as we know, Joy Boy seems to be the strongest fucking person to ever
He
live.
seems insane. Yeah.
Yeah, so if Luffy is on his level, it's like, yeah, Luffy's just going to be insane by the end of the story. And then Zoro, we have a pretty good measuring stick because it's like, well, he has to be stronger than Mihawk. And how strong is Mihawk? Well, he's around the level of strength of Shanks. How strong is Shanks? Pretty strong. So it's like, it's a lot of measuring sticks, a lot of
Back and forth.
Yeah.
but basically Zoro's gonna be one of the strongest characters in the story by the end. Like
Absolutely.
just he has to be.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, those two are gonna be two of the strongest characters in the story. What's Sanji gonna be? Like, how strong is he gonna be? Because there's the monster trio. They are relative. I think everyone has their own interpretation of how relative they are. And I think some people think Luffy and Zoro are closer. Some people think Sanji and Zoro are closer. Some people think there are big gaps in between all three. Some people think there are small gaps in between all three. It's up to your own interpretation. But regardless, they're a trio. They are relative in strength. And it's like, if Luffy and Zoro are going to be two of the strongest characters by the end of the story, they both have advanced Conqueror's Haki. By this point, Sanji still doesn't have Conqueror's Haki at all. It's like, how strong is Sanji going to be? And I think for a long time, I kind of was just like, all right, he'll probably be stronger than like the admirals, but like not strong enough to defeat a Yonko.
Mm.
And now I feel like this is Oda not being subtle at all, which he's not. He's very clearly
No,
like,
he directly compared the two of them.
yeah, Luffy is just like, this is Sanji when he gets older, or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck he says. So yeah, Scopper Gaban is just like the measuring stick for what Sanji will be. And he very, very clearly states that Scopper Gaban is equal to Rayleigh.
Yep.
Now, Zoro fans, I'm sure, have quite a few things to say about that. But I am a Zoro and Sanji fan equally. So I'm pretty comfortable with just saying that Sanji will be Yonko level by the end of the story.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
The One Piece Authority said it. You heard it here first, folks. I don't care what Brago has to say. I don't
Whoa.
care what Morich has to say.
Whoa.
I care what Arthur has to say. I care a lot about what Arthur has to say. But
It's one of those
You sure
things
do.
where
Bravo and Morge, though, damn.
it's one of those things where power scaling in One Piece is really funny because clearly Oda does care to a degree. Because there are things in the story that give us examples of like how strong a character should be, right?
Right.
Relative to each other. But also, sometimes characters just get really strong out of nowhere. I love Kobe. I don't think anyone expected him to do what he did.
That dude's fucking insane now.
Least of all him.
Yeah.
Kobe going from a kid who could barely tie his shoes to like, yeah, you're probably gonna be like one of, if not probably the strongest Marine. And it's like, okay.
And it's one of those things where it's like, I think it's justified. Like, I think what Oda's like, yeah, it's like he
earned that shit.
He earned it. Yeah, it's like I don't think it's an ass pull, and I don't think it comes out of nowhere. Kobe has been working hard for the entirety of the story, and we see him finally go all out, and it's like, holy shit, that was insane. I think over time, as we get closer to the story, I've become more comfortable with just accepting characters' strength.
Yeah.
Because I think early time skip, up until like Whole Cake Island, there was a lot of discourse, and a lot of people were like, how strong is Luffy? How strong is Gear 4? Is he really stronger than Doflamingo? Could he beat Doflamingo if it was a clean 1v1? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, it becomes like a big power scaling debate. And I think by this point, I'm just kind of like, the characters are going to be as strong as they need to be. And I think I'm comfortable with that now. I think before I was more like questioning, like, well, how strong is he really? It's like, well, he's as strong as, you know.
Luffy's the strongest Luffy.
Yeah, like it is what it is.
Yeah. It's definitely, because we're at a point now where characters are just fucking ridiculous, and it's only going to get more ridiculous as time goes.
What does it matter? Like, people can fucking blow up islands.
Well, it's funny because I've been a One Piece fan for a long time, and I can vividly remember being back in like Dressrosa and Zoe, and like going into Whole Cake Island, where Luffy was about to face a Yonko for the first time, and it's like back then the example of peak strength was Marineford. That was the level cap. It's like, how strong is a character compared to Whitebeard? How strong is a character compared to Akainu? These are the top tiers. And it's funny because looking back, Marineford is not that crazy.
Nope.
Not at all. No.
Not at all. Like the characters, no one was like, none of the admirals were going all out.
No.
Because they didn't want to destroy the island.
Yeah.
And we've seen Punk Hazard Laser.
Yeah, and Whitebeard was very, very sick. I think as time goes on, the more clear it becomes how weak he really was.
Yeah, that boy was a problem back in the day.
Because for us, it's like they keep reiterating, it's like, oh, he's weak, he's old, but then he's doing these insane things, and by that point, it's the most insane feats anyone has in the story. And it's like, oh my god, he's still so strong.
Yeah.
But now looking back, yeah, he was really weak.
Dude, yeah, like opening a volume and like a chapter ends with just like, Whitebeard has the ability to destroy the world. It's like, holy fuck. Like, that's the craziest thing you've ever seen at that point. So now it's just like, now looking back on it, it's like, yeah, it's cool, I guess. It's not even like Whitebeard's not even as crazy as he was. Like, we see him later on in the series where he's clashing with Roger.
And it's funny because the story, I think it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Because I would argue now, like during Wano, like people's idea of like what peak strength would be is Kaido.
Yeah,
it's like he's the strongest creature. He's so goddamn strong. He's unbeatable. It takes everyone to beat him, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, I'm not saying Kaido's going to be weak by the end of the story. That's not what I'm saying at all. I still think Kaido's going to be one of the strongest characters still by the end. But I think when we see characters like Joy Boy and Inu go all out, they are going to be like significantly more impressive than anything Kaido ever did. Yeah, it's like the ceiling I think is higher than even we now probably
think. Because when you think about it, Kaido is essentially a gatekeeper. He's the guy who's telling, he's just like, hey, whoever beats me, that's who's gonna be Joy Boy. You gotta get past me first. He's like the gatekeeper to the upper echelon of the One Piece verse, and that's like the strongest beast. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. So yeah, I don't think he's gonna be weak either, but I wouldn't be very surprised if we look back at like some characters later on in the story. It's like, holy fuck, dude. Like we're gonna see like a bunch of YouTube videos pop up and be like, why Shamrock dog walks Kaido or something like that. It's like, oh damn, man, this is insane.
It's crazy. I remember when people thought Doflamingo was overpowered.
Oh shit. Oh shit, bro.
That's just funny hearing that now.
Oh no, not my Joker.
I remember when people were like, "Oh my god, Doflamingo is so insane! Like his devil fruit is so powerful, it's broken. He can control people. He can do the birdcage that's unbreakable. He has armament hockey. He has observation hockey. He has conquerors hockey. It's like, what can't this guy do? He's so fucking strong. Like what? Like how is Luffy? How like can anyone measure up to him? Doflamingo's not that strong.
Yeah,
that nigga's like a first commander.
I would argue he's not. I put him below Katakuri and King.
You know what? I can see that. I can see that.
I think Katakuri and King are fucking him up. I'm gonna be honest. Now I think he could, he put up a good fight, but like I think he is just losing to them.
That's fair. Yeah. Hey man, we get to boost up my goat Katakuri. I'm fine with that. But yeah, man.
Who wins? Doflamingo or Biscuit?
Loki.
I meant Cracker. You're right. Well, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't want to say the word.
Hey man, it's fine. It's Sailor's channel, bro. Don't worry.
What the?
Oh my god, you're so right.
What the hell? Nah, man. Hey, Loki. Cracker be putting in work, but Doflamingo can probably just control the fucking clones.
Sorry.
You're just thinking of the "you all right, white boy."
Cracker putting in work.
Cracker putting in work, bro.
I guess to kind of.
Oh shit! That's
to kind of wrap back around to my original point. My point is, I think these characters, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, are going to be stronger than we thought they were going to be by the end of the story.
Way stronger.
And I just feel like this chapter is kind of setting that up for me personally. And besides that, because most of the chapter is just like hyping up Scopper. There's some really funny memes with Scopper and Ripley, which I'm not going to describe.
Yeah, like you can find that shit yourself.
That shit is funny, bro.
The Mountain Eater.
The Mountain Eater, bro. That nigga Roger was about to get executed. He said, "Yeah, see you later. I'm gonna go get lost."
Well, I think my favorite, was like the meme where it was like the fork in the road and one leads to like hell and the other is like rainbows and stuff. And it's like Roger, Rayleigh, and Scopper go fight Emu or settle down with a baddie. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
We can't blame him.
Can't blame him.
I mean, the choice is obvious.
Yeah, he's just like, bro, you think I'm gonna fight Satan?
Yeah,
I'm
Roger
good,
Ladd
bro.
Like, fuck that.
I am okay, bro. I'm not trying to do all that. Yeah, we ain't trying to do all that. Yeah, I get it.
I had a theory. So I came up with this theory, and I haven't seen, because obviously, okay, I haven't seen anyone else say this theory.
Right.
But I'm sure someone has. Like, I'm sure I am not.
Nah, this is exclusive. First ever.
I am very positive that I'm not the only person that has guessed this. I just haven't seen it. So I would give credit if I know who else, said this. But since Shamrock first appeared, I really, really think Shamrock is Bonnie's biological father.
Yeah, I remember you brought that up before.
I think you mentioned. Yeah.
I brought it up in chat, but I wasn't on the podcast those weeks, so I wasn't able to bring it up.
Yeah.
I'm bringing it up now. I think Shamrock is Bonnie's biological father. There's a couple things why I believe that. One, it's like Jenny was the commander of the Eastern forces of the Revolutionary Army. But she wasn't weak necessarily. We don't know how strong she was. Bare minimum, she was stronger than like a normal person. But it's the way it's described is they ran into a celestial dragon, and the celestial dragon just wiped them out. Wiped out her entire like brigade, and then kidnapped her. And it's like it's not really given. We're not given details. So it's like, well, did he wipe them out, or did his bodyguard, or did his slave that he had with him, or like what happened exactly? And another thing that people kind of brush over that whole thing is she was commander of the Eastern forces, so she was in the East Blue. It's really unusual to see celestial dragons anywhere but like Mary Joa and around it. They don't really travel a whole lot. Like during Luffy's flashback after Marineford, when the celestial dragon shows up to the Goa Kingdom and like shoots Sabo's boat, those people, the civilians there, that was like the first time they've ever seen a celestial dragon, and it was like a big deal. That's why they burned the Great Terminal to clean it up, because they were like, we have to look good for the celestial dragon.
Yeah.
So the entire situation around Jenny is odd. I'm wondering if Shamrock, because he's a holy knight, it makes sense that he was probably out and about doing missions. It might have been his mission to take out Jenny to begin with, considering she was a commander of the Revolutionary Army, and then he liked her and he took her after defeating her.
Ugh.
And the ages line up because Bonnie is like 12. Shamrock is Shanks' twin brother, so Shamrock should be 40 or 39. I forget how old
Same
Shanks
difference at that point.
is. Shamrock is around 40. I could look it up, but fuck it.
Yeah. Fuck it.
So Bonnie's 12, Shamrock's 40. He would have been 28. So he was a full-grown adult when that happened. And another thing, it would explain why Bonnie is so strong, for why she's so young. She's 12 years old.
Yeah, she's
and
kind of she's kind of crazy.
She's one of the strongest like kid characters, excluding like Momonosuke, who aged himself up.
I would say she's the strongest character that we could give the label of kid.
True.
I'm just saying that if we had to look at a character and say, oh, that character's kid, then she'd be the strongest.
True.
And I have another, this is my last piece of evidence I have. And I think it's the best one, because it's technically not evidence at all, but I know how Oda thinks, and I fucking guarantee he had this in mind when he did it. So back during the beginning of the time skip, so around 14 fucking years ago, Oda did an SBS where he drew the supernovas gender bent. And, most of the supernovas are men.
What a
so we
way
see
to
them as
kick
women.
off the theory.
He drew the supernovas gender bent, and most of the supernovas are men, so they're women. But Bonnie, I'm pretty sure she's the only supernova that's a woman. So she was he drew her as a man. If you look at Bonnie's gender bent version, she looks identical to Shanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Identical. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, Oda has, he draws a lot of characters that look similar, right? So it's not necessarily evidence. I fucking bet you any amount of money that was intentional.
Yeah.
He put that out there knowing it, and then just kind of, let it be until he reveals it later.
Let it sit for years,
He
yeah.
usually does that.
Yeah. So I think Shamrock is Bonnie's biological father, and Bonnie and Kuma are on Elbaf right now with him. So now is the perfect time to have that reveal.
I hope you're wrong for once. I
And then-
don't want this to happen, man.
Well, I think it's funny because I remember people complaining that Kuma and Bonnie are too happy now.
Um,
But
You've got pink hair. You're too happy. Time to suffer.
Yeah. So that's a theory I've had for a couple weeks now that I didn't get to share on the pod until now.
Mm.
I'm glad that the response has been the same for all of us, which is ew. Because that's the thing, is that it doesn't actually change anything. What happened to Bonnie and Jenny? That is what happened. And like I think, yeah, especially when I read that, it's like, oh, her dad, some celestial dragon. It wouldn't matter. It's like finding out that it'd be Shamrock doesn't actually change anything, but also, ew.
Yeah. This shit
feel like
nasty.
I feel like it makes a lot of sense.
It does.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. It does make a lot of sense. I just don't want it to.
Well, I don't know what Oda would do with it if once he like reveals it. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Kuma fucking beats that dude. He blows that guy's head smooth. Because
I don't think
his head is getting teleported to the bottom of the ocean.
That nigga is getting sent back to Marisha, bro.
Because I don't think Kuma's gonna die.
No.
Like, I don't think Shamrock is just gonna fucking kill Kuma.
Yeah, not at this point.
But yeah, because it's one of those things where, again, it's like, yeah, I guess because Bonnie, yeah, her biological father, who that is, doesn't matter at all. It doesn't change anything. It is just like, if it's never revealed, I don't think it's like a plot hole. It's not like we needed to know. It's like, no, it doesn't really matter. Like, it just is what it is. That sounds bad. It is what it is, regardless.
It doesn't change the actual.
Yeah, it doesn't change that Kuma is still her dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The father who stepped up.
Type shit. Yeah.
But I would not put it past Oda to have had this all set up the whole time.
Yeah. It makes sense, but I hate it. Thanks.
Well, we'll see. Another thing is, I'm pretty sure Bonnie and Kuma are with the kids.
They're with yeah. I know they're near Robin's group right now.
Yeah, which is where Saul is with the library with all the kids. And that's where Shamrock and Gunko are going to go because they want to kidnap the children.
Yeah, you're right. Damn, bro. Can you imagine that? It's like, huh? You again, huh? I'm like, oh, God, bro. No. No.
Because I'm sure the reveal would come from Shamrock. Because I think if he sees Bonnie, he's going to recognize her. He's going to be like, you look like Jenny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely going to be something like that. Yeah.
Pretty bold to assume he's even going to remember her name.
I think it'd be funny if he doesn't. But
that'd be fucked up. That'd be mad.
Well, there's no other way for the reveal to happen because who else would have that information? You know what I mean? So it has to come from him.
Yeah,
somehow.
it has to be from him. Yeah.
He was.
I mean, I think he would.
Wait a minute. I remember.
I'm saying it's like he probably would recognize her as being his kid, but as far as who her mother was, as you know for a fact, he's not gonna remember shit about her. Because again, he's a piece of shit, and I think that's been well established.
Yeah, I believe it.
Bro. Yeah, never know. If it happens, nightmare. If it doesn't, we ball regardless. so hey, you know, we'll just have to wait and see if that one ends up coming true. But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to speak on with One Piece, Tacco?
Not really. I'm looking forward to the fight between Luffy and Scopper. I think it'll be cool.
You gotta put this down in the time stamps as One Piece Part 2. It's just 2 piece.
Yeah.
Finally, 2 piece.
I will. Yeah. Okay. So with that all being said, we can transition into the last chapter of the week here, which would be Kagurabachi Chapter 67. Tacco, did you want to get up out of here? Did you want to stay here? What do you want to do, big dog?
I'll leave because I don't want to be spoiled for Kagurabachi.
Fair, true. This shit was really good.
I will. There's one spoiler I'll give you. Not a bad chapter.
True.
Not a single bad one.
So
Not a
he-
single
he-
bad
the-
one.
The streak continues.
Mhm.
True. But yeah, take
But-
care, brother.
All right, I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.
Alright, see you, man.
Okay, so yeah, how are we feeling about this Kagurabachi chapter, guys?
God, this was got to be one of the
So
fucking
good.
coolest ones. Holy shit.
It was pretty sick. Yeah.
For a chapter that is like technically not a whole lot of actual action, like on page. God, just what we see, it's so fucking cool.
That shit is
just
so cool.
knows how to make shit cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like that one POV of Iori where she's looking through the peephole and just sees the
Mhm.
blood
It's
covering
so
it.
good.
God damn, bro. God damn, bro. That shit is so good. Oh my God, that shit is so good. Presentation has always been such a strong shoot for Kagurabachi, and just every week it just steps up more and more. It's absolutely amazing. I love Toto. She is so funny. Like her sitting there and being like, damn, you know, Hirohiko, he's new at this whole sword thing. The hotel general, he's had 150 years of history passed on to him. You know, it can be pretty fucked up for Hirohiko, but I'm scared, so I'm gonna just sit right here. I'm gonna just chill, you know, just vibe out. You know, ain't nothing too crazy with it. But man, Hirohiko stepping up in a big way before we even like transition over to Chihiro and Iori. This man just takes his arm smooth off, bro. Like, give me that shit. Just move off, bro.
Move on.
Give me that shit, bro. I need it. Yeah, I was not expecting it to happen that fast. I'm not mad at it. I was expecting it to be more of like a I guess more of a battle. Honestly, I was expecting this entire chapter to be centered around this fight. But Hirohiko is just him. I guess like I was expecting it like Hirohiko would be like, oh, okay, so this is how he's doing it. I'm gonna copy that, and he's just like learning on the fly, kind of like what Chihiro's doing. But him just being like, man, I'll figure it out. Fuck it. Like that is such a him sort of style, and him being like, hey man,
I do not tech, I do not throw, I
Yeah.
do not cancel, I do not do anything. I mash.
I mash. Yeah. I mash every time. You woke up buttons? Of course I did. The fuck? Who do you think I am? Yeah, no. Every single time. Wake up DP? Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I will do it. Yeah, it's just so cool to just see him be like, man, I don't follow no practitioners, man. I'm free. I'm my own man. That's a real one right there. That's a real one. Yeah, I fuck with that very, very much. Seeing this man Hirohiko is a smoke demon, by the way. As trying to deal with one guy, he's just like, hey, can y'all all like run at me? Like, please? Like, bro, finish your food. Wait a minute, man. Damn. Yeah, that Hirohiko is just always such a treat to see on screen. He's so funny and goofy. He's literally just a silly little guy who's also really good at swordplay. So we're figuring that out. Yeah, we're figuring that out as time goes by. And then we transition. Oh, God, I'm sorry.
It makes a lot of sense, I think, looking back, because it is... Because Hirohiko has parallels with Chihiro. But it's interesting to see how, in this regard, in the regard that they are both inexperienced, particularly in swordplay, and need to get better. For Chihiro, it is like diligent practice and observation and actual learning from teachers. For Hirohiko, it's I'll just follow the vibes.
Yeah, big vibes guy. That Hirohiko.
Big vibes guy, this guy.
Big vibes guy, man. Yeah. Seeing him, it makes so much sense too, because like what the power that he had was like origami. He was the origami killer.
Oh, he's the origami.
He was the origami killer, but he could like fold paper into whatever shape he wanted it to, and that seems so much like, even though he can't use that style anymore because he has the enchanted blade now, it still kind of carries over in the sense that just like he can do whatever. Like he can fold his style, his swordplay into whatever he wants it to be, and it can still be beautiful. It can still come out as something that is incredibly dangerous. And so that's really cool to just have that sort of thing carry origami. Shut up, bro.
Oh, okay. There you go. He got it.
He got it, bro. Origami, bro. Hey, man. I am a student of freedom. Rah, honey. Yeah, man.
Oh, God.
We might
I
have to
love
bust
him.
out the finest honey, man. Honey Hiko, man. That might have to be his nickname. We have to bust it out.
Wait, Scott, no.
What's the problem, bro?
What isn't the problem?
What's the problem, bro? But yeah, really cool seeing him run through everybody. Then we transition over to Chihiro and Iori, and their conversation was super sweet too. Kind of a continuation of what's happening. I love the start of it where she's like, "Hey man, did you sleep?" He's like, "I was training." She's like, "Cool. Did you sleep?" Did you go to bed, bro? What's come on, man. What are you doing? But I love we talked about the comparisons, obviously, between Chihiro and Hirohiko. I love the comparisons between Chihiro and Iori, where we're delving a little bit more into that, where she's like, "Hey, have you gone to school?" He's like, "Nah, man, that school shit ain't really for me," as we saw earlier in this arc. And she's just like, "Man, that's crazy. You're killing people, bro. We used to like have spelling bees and like take each other's milk. Like that was our fights." He's like, "Yeah, that's crazy. One moment just gets up to kill some more people." But I really like how Chihiro was like, "Hey, we are very much children of war," which was such an awesome way of framing it. But him saying like pretty much what we were bringing up last podcast, where it was like, "Hey, I wouldn't trade my time with my father at all. And I thought it was of the utmost importance for you to make that decision and for you to decide, not have that chosen for you. Maybe that was like wrong of me, but I just wanted to make sure that you had the opportunity to do so." I like that. It wasn't like, even with her saying like, "I just want to go back to school," it isn't like an immediate like, yes, I want to choose my own destiny and I want to move forward and blah, 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 blah. Like, I can totally understand, especially since she just had a panic attack and passed out, her just being like, "Dude, I just want to go back to school, man. What the fuck is happening?" Like, all this stuff with my dad, I don't think it's that important, actually. I don't want to know.
Maybe I do miss the loser guy who's doing all the JoJo poses.
Yeah, maybe I do miss it.
Yeah, it's really the idea that that her memories of this life are just as valuable.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's like it is not really her rejecting anything. It's just making a choice. And
Make the choice, yeah.
Totally valid. Like, really, you're like, "Oh, remember those good times with my dad? Like that time I accidentally made fun of the fact he was blind, and that fact that people that time that people
drew
vandalized
slurs
our
on the side of our
house."
house.
Yeah. Good time.
Yeah,
Good time.
Really fun, man. Yeah.
Not plural, but good time.
Yeah, good times. It was real. It was fun. It wasn't real fun, I think that was very nice to see, because like Chihiro says, like, those are both sides of you. Like, it's not like you were saying, Sky, you're not rejecting anything. You just have to choose which life you'd prefer to live, like which path you prefer to go down. It's all up to you. So giving Iori that agency to decide, even if it is just like, "Man, this is a bit too much for me, man. It makes sense. Now, whether or not that stays, I'm not exactly sure, especially since it was like, hey, everyone's gonna know about her. Like, the aura is about to shift. If she walks out of this hotel, everyone's gonna know where she's at. Everyone's gonna know what happened, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know if that's going to be the case for the sake of, like, upping the tension for the plot, and the fact that she's watching Chihiro and Rokuhiro right now, and maybe with her watching Chihiro continuing to fight on despite all of this stuff that's happened to him, that inspires her to do the same. There's a lot of factors that are still at play here, but I think it's interesting that it's not just like, yeah, man, cool, I'm totally fine with, like, knowing all of this horrible stuff and having my world flipped upside down. I'm happy there's a little bit of hesitation so far from Iori, so we'll definitely see what happens there.
Because it is interesting to think about the fact that, like, they only went after her because they wanted to keep her safe, and, like, make sure that the seal didn't come undone, make sure that the Hishaku couldn't use her for leverage. And Chihiro only told her the truth because he emotionally believed it was the right thing to do. But if it comes to because I don't think that they would force her to keep her memories. I do think that Todo and Hirohiko could fuck up the new seal and make it impossible, basically, to reseal her memories. And in that situation, having her is a significant leverage over Samura.
Oh yeah,
that
absolutely
is very useful, and I think that introduces a very interesting moral quandary. We're like, well, we can't make things right again, and we do have her, so you know.
Yeah, I'm also just looking at it from the perspective of, these, like, young whippersnappers. They're not closing their eyes to the ways of the world the way Samura did. Type shit, like Chihiro acknowledging, like, who he is. Iori, I'm sure whichever path she chooses, she'll acknowledge who she is. Hirohiko acknowledging who he is. I think it is going to be a very big thing that these people accept who they are, and that's the difference between them and Samura, where it's just like they accept it, he doesn't really. So it could be a situation like that as well. Time for some uncomfortable conversations. Hirohiko greater than Sojo. Hey man, maybe
just maybe.
maybe. Not gonna lie,
I ain't uncomfortable with that at all.
I really like Hirohiko. He's
good joke, Sailor. Thank you for saying it twice now, Nomad. I appreciate it. You were there for me in my time of need on both
Every
occasions.
time Sailor makes a joke. Here's the thing, he's going to say that every time you make a good joke, which sounds really affirming until you realize that every time he doesn't, it means it was a bad joke.
Keeps it real with me.
Yeah.
Like, that one was mediocre, bro. Try harder next time.
6 out of 10.
Yeah. He's going to tell me it's a good joke in public, and when we get in the car, he's going to be like, that was kind of ass. I ain't going to lie.
I
didn't want to embarrass you in front of your friends. I don't know, man.
I didn't want to embarrass you.
Origami, not sure about that one.
Origami, nah, not sure how I feel about that. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of mad at this because they already explained he was a talented sorcerer. Swordsman too feels cheap. I don't think it's cheap. I can look at it from a perspective where it's like, all right, well, he's already skilled in the ways of combat. It makes sense as to why, like, he would pick up on another form of it so quickly, especially for, like, a prodigy like Hirohiko.
I think a big part of it is the fact that he's the villain. The villain is allowed to be unfair, like, is allowed to be good at everything. Because, like him...
Sojo have, like, his enchanted blade not that long, and he fucked everybody up?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of... Because that just makes for a good conflict, because it's a struggle between... Because it puts Chihiro as the underdog.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because he was arguably the overdog in their first fight. Hirohiko didn't stand a goddamn chance against him. He had
Kinda
every
washed that
advantage.
nigga. I ain't gonna
He
lie.
had
Cut off his fucking arms.
Hirohiko had plenty of help, and he had the whole hostage situation benefit, and Chihiro iced him.
Yeah.
And
So
Chihiro purposely
blackout.
took damage too.
Yeah.
it's a situation where it is like not particularly it's not fair. It is kind of like ass bully, but when the villain pulls something out of their ass, that's a threat. When the hero pulls something out of their ass, that's Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, because that's like, I know this is gonna sound weird. It's like one of those like Disney or Pixar rules where it's like, oh, if it's a coincidence to get your hero out of trouble, that's cheating. But if you make a coincidence to put your hero in trouble, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it is. It's kind of like, to me, it's like when you play a fighting game, right? It's like if you're really good at one fighting game, you have your fundamentals and stuff like that, you can probably learn another one really quickly. Because at that point, you already know, like, okay, this is what I need to look for. Here's what options I have at this range. Oh, I can do this. Cool. Okay, anti-air is that. Blah, 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 blah. And for a lot of people, you know, they'll look at people and be like, oh, you're so, like, you can learn fighting games so fast. And it's just because they have all of that experience. So I can look at it from a situation like that. I can understand if you do, like... if you're like, oh man, I would have preferred to see him like work more for it. But I'm fine with Hirohiko like being the way that he is right now, especially because he was like, oh, I'm kind of a novice or anything with this, and him ultimately training through and getting to the point where Chihiro was like on the floor. On top of that, I just think it's funny how dweeb Shaku could be like, bro, you have to worry about this. He's like, nah, and then just like does his own thing. I just think that's kind of funny. So I don't mind it, but I can understand it.
In a sense, I just kind of like admiring the art. I love the fact that because they met each other at the elevator, that literally means Hirohiko is now at Chihiro's level.
It's
Yeah.
so fucking good, dude.
They're
There's
all
such
Yeah.
a
the
good
same
panel.
Yeah,
Oh my
man.
god, it's so cool.
That shit is so fucking fly. And on top of that, it provides some more stuff for Chihiro to like learn, because Chihiro is like trying to learn like uniform, like this is the style that almost nobody has been able to continue because it's so crazy. Whereas Hirohiko, he's more free spirited, and so that's like an uphill battle for Chihiro in a sense, because it's just like, oh man, I'm trying to follow this shit by the rules. This guy's just he's waking up buttons. What am I supposed to do? Yeah. So like, it adds an interesting dynamic to the fight, especially with how unorthodox we have started to see Hirohiko's swordsmanship be. But I like it. I like it overall. I can understand how you wanted to see Hirohiko like more so fight his way up, because I was expecting that to be the case, so I don't blame you for being disappointed. But overall, good stuff, man. Good stuff. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how their fight goes. I was not expecting it to get it like this quickly, but I'm fucking here for it. I'm fucking here for it, man. But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to say about Kagurabachi before we get the F up out of here?
No.
Not a single
True.
bad one.
Not a single bad chat.
Taking sick ass.
True. Feels like a Fortnite kid picked up Street Fighter and beat Daigo or something. I don't think so, because there are I don't think so, because there are like 8-year-old prodigies who are like about to be or like almost qualified for Capcom Cup, and I don't think Daigo's in it. So like,
hey yo, leave Daigo alone.
you know, I love the beast, bro, but like, it's just being real, you know.
The fuck did we bring FGC agendas into this?
I don't have any agenda against Daigo, man.
Yeah, no,
Actually,
I know.
I have one agenda against him in particular. His Akuma combos are whack. But, like, that's about it. That's literally it. I love Daigo. I think he's great. But I can understand because there are, like, actual, like, children who are competing with some of the best Street Fighter players in the world. So, like, that kind of, I feel, reinforces my point on this. But again, I understand how you mean.
Is that if you were in a if you were in a Street Fighter 6 tournament and your opponent was an 8-year-old who kicked your ass, wouldn't that kid be your villain? that makes for a good villain. You'd hate that kid for the rest of your
Fuck
life.
them kids.
Yeah.
Fuck them kids. Imagine they were like, F is a training mode or what is a frame? No, but here's the thing. Hirohiko, like, knows these things, though, because he was a sorcerer. Like, Hirohiko, you know, like, he knows, like, the aspects of combat. It's not like if this was just like a complete novice, then it's like, I get what you mean. But
Oh, what's a sword?
yeah, like if he was like,
If
I
I
don't know
showed
what
up
this
and
is.
started doing that shit,
Well,
I'd
I
be
don't know how to
angry.
play this shit. But yeah,
Mhm.
that kid would be my special. True. True. Good luck in Sudoku. I feel that. But anyway, we are going to get the mother F up out of here. Let us know down below what your favorite chapter of the week was. Doesn't have to be anything that we covered here on this podcast. It could be Blue Lock, Blue Box. Blue Box was really good this week.
Box
Kill
was really good this
Blue,
week.
Grand Blue, Blue Beetle, Kane Banashi, Ichi the Witch. That was also really good this week. A whole bunch of stuff, man. Let us know down below what your favorite chapter of the week was. We're getting the F up out of here. I'm going to pray that the Eagles beat the Chiefs tonight. Please, bro, please. I'm going to try to train up with Mai and Street Fighter 6 and hopefully not get washed. But anyway, goodbye. Mwah! And good night.